Welcome to AI in 8 minutes or less, your daily AI update. We've all heard the dream, right? AI agents just working for us 24/7. But how do you actually manage them? How do you take a collection of powerful AIs and turn them into a real functioning company with goals and budgets and an org chart? Okay, let's dive into this. Well, that is the exact question that a viral open source project called Paperclip is trying to answer. This thing absolutely exploded onto the scene. We're talking over 30,000 GitHub stars in just a few weeks, all by proposing a new way to build and run what it calls zero human companies. It's basically designed to be the orchestration layer for your own personal AI workforce. So in this explainer, here's the plan. First, we'll look at the management chaos that made something like Paperclip necessary in the first place. Then we'll define what it is and how it works as an AI org chart. We'll walk through hiring your first agent, see how to teach them to think effectively, and then we'll look at the pretty wild future of a team on demand. To really understand the solution, you have to understand the problem. Paperclip's creator, Doda, built this tool out of his own deep frustration. See, he was trying to use AI to build his companies and just found himself completely drowning in complexity. The whole dream of an autonomous workforce, it pretty quickly turned into a logistical nightmare. And this slide just perfectly captures that feeling. The dream was this autonomous workforce, but the reality for him was having 30 different chat windows open at once, completely losing track of what each agent was supposed to be doing. He said he'd come back after a weekend and find his budget totally destroyed by token spend, with no clear idea of what, if anything, was actually accomplished. That chaos is the problem Paperclip is designed to solve. So Paperclip steps in as the solution. It's best described as an agent orchestrator. Think of it less like a single AI tool and more like the management software for an entire company of AIs. It provides the structure, the hierarchy, and the accountability that was totally missing. And here's the crucial point. It's a mindset shift. With Paperclip, you're not in the weeds telling an AI what code to write. Nope. Instead, you act as the chairman of the board. You set the big, high-level goals like reach this revenue target or build this product, and then you hire an AI CEO to figure out the plan and execute it. Your job is just to approve their big decisions, like hiring new agents. A really key part of Paperclip's flexibility is that it's model agnostic. You can bring your own bot. The recommendation is pretty smart. Use a powerful, cutting-edge model like Claude Opus for your CEO. That's the agent that needs to do the complex thinking and planning. But for more specialized, repetitive tasks, you can hire cheaper or even free models to keep those costs way down. It helps you build a diverse and efficient AI team. So how does this work in practice? Let's use a case study from the creator's own demo, building a simple finance app called Moolah. It's designed to help people build money habits in just 3 minutes a day. The goal is to start with nothing more than this idea and see how Paperclip builds a company completely around it. The process starts really simple. First, you define that high-level goal for the Moolah app. Second, you hire your very first agent, the CEO, and you give it that mission. Third, the AI CEO gets to work, but not by coding, by creating a strategic plan, a roadmap, and a hiring plan. Finally, it comes back to you with a request. I need to hire a founding engineer, and all you have to do is approve it. And just like that, boom, the company is born. You've hired your AI CEO, you've given it a mission, and now it's ready to start building its team from the ground up. So you give the approval, and the CEO hires its first direct report, a founding engineer. Now the work can really begin, with the CEO delegating all those initial technical tasks, like setting up the project scaffolding and building the core user loop. As the project evolves, the CEO starts identifying new needs. It might decide, hey, I need someone to test the code, so it hires a QA specialist. Or maybe it decides it needs a promotional video, so it brings on a video editor. The company just grows organically, driven by the project's goals, and it's all orchestrated by the AI CEO. But look, hiring is the easy part. How do you make sure these agents are actually effective, right? How do you manage them without micromanaging? This gets into what is probably the most important concept in Paperclip, teaching your agents how to think and act reliably. The creator uses this brilliant analogy from the movie Memento. He says AI agents are like the main character. They're incredibly capable, but they have no short-term memory. So every time an agent wakes up to do a task, it knows how to code, or write, or design, but it has zero context. It doesn't know who it is, where it is, or what on earth it's supposed to be doing. Paperclip solves this Memento Man problem with a concept called the heartbeat.
It's basically a startup checklist that every single agent runs through the moment it begins a task. It's a series of instructions that forces the agent to get its bearings. Okay, confirm my identity, read the company plan, check my specific assignments, extract my memory of past work. And only then does it get to work. This provides a structure they absolutely need to be consistent.
So your job as a manager becomes much more strategic. If you notice an engineer keeps submitting code without defining what success looks like, you don't just correct them on that one task. No, you go into the founding engineer persona itself and you add a new rule to their core instructions that says, for every task, you must define a success condition. You see, you're training the role, not just the individual action.
This all leads to a really fascinating future vision for how we build companies. I mean, if you can define the perfect roles, rules, and workflows for an AI team, what comes next? Well, you share it. The next step is the ability to import and export entire companies. Just imagine downloading a pre-configured, high-performing team, complete with a proven org chart, finely tuned agent personas, and all the skills they need, and then just deploying it instantly in your own Paperclip instance. So, for example, you could import an entire video game studio. Someone else has already done the hard work of figuring out the best way for an AI creative director, a producer, and various artists to collaborate effectively. You just download the team and give them your game idea. Or think about it in business terms. Instead of building a marketing team from scratch, you could effectively hire a proven AI-powered TikTok marketing agency that already has a track record of creating viral content. You just import the whole team and point them at your product. This all brings us to a final and pretty provocative question. Today, Paperclip requires a human to act as the chairman of the board. But as the models get smarter and the agentic patterns get better defined, is that role eventually going to become redundant? Will we eventually be able to download a proven company structure, give it one goal, and have the entire org chart truly and completely run itself?